We got to keep the focus on CNN, my friends.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Check this one out. Joe Rogan calls CNN's Don Lemon a dumb mother for doubling down on horse dewormer narrative, saying you can't allow people to say things that are absolutely untrue when you have a effing news organization, Rogan said. Well, Joe
doesn't pull his punches.
Buddy, Don Lemon doubled down and claimed that you did in fact ingest horse dewormer, which is a lie. And you thought that was bad? CNN tripled down. CNN defends Joe Rogan treatment in fiery statement. Eric Wemple of the Washington Post accurately points out CNN is acting more like an advocacy group than an actual news organization. He says this: CNN statement sounds more like the work of an advocacy group than a journalism outfit. The issue actually begins and ends with the integrity of CNN's content. He says if we take Rogan's prescription claim at face value and CNN hasn't challenged it, the network's coverage was slanted in some cases and straight up incorrect in others. Here's their quote. CNN says, the heart of this debate has been purposefully confused and ultimately lost. It's never been about livestock versus human dosage of ivermectin. The issue is that a powerful voice in the media, who by example and through his platform sowed doubt in the proven and approved science of vaccines while promoting the use of an unproven treatment for COVID-19, a drug developed to ward off parasites in farm animals. The only thing CNN did wrong here was bruise the ego of a popular podcaster who pushed dangerous conspiracy theories and risked the lives of millions of people in doing so. Joe, sitting before me are two wonderful lawyers.
Yes, please.
Would you
give him some advice on suing the pants off CNN, please?
Yes,
please.
I mean, be careful what you say about Don Lemon, because I'm currently suing him for sexual assault of a bartender, Dustin Heiss.
Wow.
I mean, he is credibly accused, the Harvey Weinstein of the media.
Wow.
And he has so far dodged and evaded responsibility and accountability. We'll see if that happens come trial in January. But Joe clearly has a very good claim. I mean, this is repeated libel, and they're clearly just going to accelerate, and they're going to keep doing it. And I hope he does take action. I know in the past he's been reluctant, but at some point he has to for the benefit of everyone else. Because if Joe Rogan sits there and takes it, other people will think they don't have a fighting chance.
How would he do it? What would he do? Hire? Just find? Should he contact you?
Joe, just file suit and file. Joe has plenty of good lawyers, all he's got to do is file a libel suit, file it right there in the Western District of Texas in the Austin division where he now resides, and file it against CNN and go after them. I mean, the anti-SLAPP statute doesn't apply there, so he doesn't have to worry about fees.
You have Sanjay Gupta on his own podcast saying CNN shouldn't have done
it.
What do they do after that? They do it 2 more times.
So
now, I want to say one thing: Washington Post calling CNN activist journalism is the pot calling the kettle black, but at the very least they got it right here. But Robert, someone in the comment section of our last highlight said, what would his damages be? He hasn't sustained any damages. So what would?
Well, I mean, that'd be up to the jury to determine. But I mean, at a minimum, he could get a factual finding that CNN lied about him, and that has value and utility right out of the gate.
And also, discovery should be extremely interesting to how they decided to say it's horse medicine when a doctor prescribed it to him.
When I brought suit for all the Covington kids, the goal was to stop and prevent them from telling these kind of lies, because typically ordinary people can't fight back. Joe can fight back, and that's why he should fight back for the people who cannot fight back.
Joe can write a check to a law firm and completely forget about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he'll get an email saying, hey, Joe, here's the update. Here's what they said. Sign off here. If you agree, here's what we're going to respond with. And he'll go, you got it.
I mean, it was patent libel. They said that he took something he didn't take, and they knew that was a lie.
But your point with Sanjay Gupta is even better. They said he took something he didn't take. Their chief medical correspondent said they are wrong, and then they said it again.
They shouldn't have done that, Joe. Why didn't you press him? I don't know. And then they do this
again.
Afterwards.
That's come on, it's a slam dunk.
No, and then they purport that he's the one who's in the wrong for being offended by their libel. I mean, it's nuts.
Sanjay Gupta went on his show and said, we lied, we messed up, we got this one wrong, and now they're like. They had him on. I mean, I don't even want to think what they did to him in the backstage when they brought in Sanjay Gupta for that screw up, and now he had to go on national television and then go back on what he said on the Rogan podcast.
I'm just gonna reveal to you guys. See, I was actually going to hire Joe Rogan for $1 billion. But once I found out he took horse medicine, I had to cancel that deal. Sorry, Joe, that's $1 billion in damages.
Well, he probably does have some damages claims, because there are going to be some people who don't listen to him and some limitation on his ratings. And given the scale that he's at, it doesn't take long to get to 10 million plus. And we know CNN wrote at least some sizable check to Nicholas Sandmann when they were caught lying to him. They're currently facing a major lawsuit from Project Veritas for lying about Project Veritas and James O'Keefe. So, but Rogan would put them at the most exposure, mostly in the court of public opinion, but financially as well.
Do you guys see the Netflix thing? The Netflix protest?
Yes.
So this guy, his name is Vito, I think, right?
Yeah, the comedian.
They attacked him. They tore his sign apart.
Said he had a weapon after they
Said he had a
tore it.
weapon.
Threw his friend down on the floor that hit his head.
Well, that was
Yeah.
Dick Masterson.
Yeah.
He's a comedian. He's a podcaster. He's well known.
Yeah.
So they attacked these people. The crazy thing was the AP took a photo of this guy Vito when he was saying something like Black Lives Matter, agreeing with them, and they said that he was like the aggressor who was clashing or attacking. And because it was an AP stock photo, every outlet that picked it up shared the same false caption.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is libel. I mean, that's exactly what the Covington kid case was.
Well, here's my question: if one of these outlets uses an AP source that says it, are they responsible?
Yes, they are.
So
every publisher.
Every single publisher is responsible.
Absolutely. Every single one.
You guys should hit up Vito.
Sounds great.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, all of them. I mean, there's so many credible suits, but I think the utility for Rogan is this is CNN and this is the context of COVID coverage,
right?
And this is critical and essential that they let the court fully determine who told the truth and who's been lying, and that has value to everybody.
Would there be any relevance in real life damages with people who listened to this propaganda and say that they had parasites and they couldn't use
it would
ivermectin
be very
for its real
difficult.
purposes?
Now the left has been pursuing those theories in a wide range of other cases, but normally that would be too distant in order to get damages.
The amazing thing is, my underlying belief in all of this is they didn't run with the dewormer story because they believed anybody believed it. They wanted to create the hype so they could go get some people out there who don't really get good news to go take dewormer, the veterinary application, not the human, so they could then say, look, people actually did it after we spent 2 weeks hyping it up.
Well, so one thing that was pointed out by a lot of people, which is a good point, is that by CNN coming out and saying Joe Rogan took horse paste, and then Joe Rogan coming out and saying the medication worked, people are going to believe the Tractor Supply stuff. And that's CNN's fault. Joe also got monoclonal antibodies, the emergency use authorization approved by the FDA that Ron DeSantis was trying to get because they've been using it in Florida. Seems like that stuff really works and it's approved treatment.
Well, it's what the Biden administration tried to take away from Florida. And
they did.
Yeah.
But according to Ron DeSantis, he fought against this, and this is one reason why Florida's cases are so down right now as they are. You look at the New York cases; they're double that of Florida right now, and you see their policies. You see the what kind of restrictions they implemented. The exact opposite of what New York did. So there deserves to be a bigger conversation about these two different approaches, New York and Florida, because it's pretty clear what's happening.
Talk to Dr. Tim.
Talk to your doctor. I got to wonder, is the only missing piece here a definitive damage? Because if CNN lies, Sanjay Gupta says, yes, Joe, they lied. I mean, that's clear admission, right?
He said they shouldn't have done it, but it would be the you can get a declaratory judgment like Robert suggested during our last live stream. Nominal damages.
And in reality, he's got at least 10 million. He could get an expert to say he's got 10 million in damages. That's just realistic because of the scale that he operates.
He never actually said that it was the I word, the ivermectin, that the horse dewormer that made him better. He never even promoted any of it. He just said, this is what I'm on. My doctors gave it to me. 3 days later, he said, I feel better. My test is now showing I'm negative. They never even credited to any one element of what he was taking. He was on a strict regimen of stuff prescribed by a doctor.
Plus, Rogan also says that they changed the way that he looked. They used a filter to make him look a lot sicker than he was from his original Instagram video.
They did it with Trump. They make Trump look more.
So is there a possibility to even pursue that legally? Is that an option as well?
All of that could be pursued. And then you throw in that the FDA piggybacked off of this. The FDA put out that fake tweet that Gupta was talking about with Rogan that was deliberately and I'm suing the FDA right now for their bait and switch on what they did with the vaccine. They lied. They right now have military surgeons and military doctors going in and faking labels to try to convince people that they're getting something different than what's actually. So what it is you have currently, the only thing that's available is the EUA. Right. So the emergency use authorized under the law, you can't force that. There's an informed consent requirement. That's the Nuremberg Code put into law. So, what the defense secretary said is the only thing we're going to require is the approved, the FDA biologic licensed one, not any of the EUA ones. Exactly. But it's not available. And Pfizer has said they're not going to be producing it for months. Mm-hmm. So some smart soldiers, we brought suit against the FDA saying they shouldn't have licensed Comirnaty as long as it was unavailable.
Is that how you pronounce it? Comirnaty?
I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's supposed to be like mRNA in between, and then COVID at the beginning, and whatever at the end. It's like quasi. Exactly.
I think they make it confusing deliberately.
Completely.
It sounds too much like comorbidity, which is what I didn't
does.
like.
Yes.
But here's my
appropriate.
question. The FDA has said that they are interchangeable in the same formulation.
They have and they haven't. So what they said is it's medically interchangeable in ways that don't impact safety and efficacy. However, that's really misleading because under the EUA approvals, you do not have to comply with good manufacturing policies. Under the EUA procedures, you have a whole different liability. You're completely immune. Everybody's completely immune.
Right.
Once it shifts to a licensed product, it has to go through a different manufacturing process. It has to meet good manufacturing policies. It has to be distributed in a certain way. And it actually is medically different. They claim it won't impact safety and efficacy, but that's mostly speculative. And last but not least, it has a whole different legal liability risk. And by law, cannot be compelled. And yet what you have is the Defense Department misleading their own soldiers to the degree they're mislabeling a drug that's not even available according to the FDA's own terms.
And the mainstream media is running with headlines. Approved by the FDA, safe and effective, 100%. Dr. Fauci, safe and effective.
Technically the truth. The Pfizer did get a vaccine approved by the FDA.
Exactly. But they don't tell you everything else in
what they
between.
do
not
is
available.
Yeah.
They would say because it's the Pfizer vaccine, people assume the Pfizer-BioNTech is the exact same
Exactly.
thing. So I read that it said it was interchangeable. Except
medically interchangeable as to safety and efficacy. But even that's misleading. That's why we sued them. We sued them in the Eastern District of Tennessee. Going to have a hearing in 2 weeks about it. Because
has anything happened?
The government filed their opposition. We filed our reply. The judge is going to have a hearing first week of November.
So if the media is the one lying, though, what's your claim? Like what
no, it's the FDA lied because the FDA misled everybody. They buried in the footnotes the truth. They knew legally they could not issue a biologic licensed approval until and unless they revoked the emergency use authorized drugs as required by law. And they chose not to do so in order to force the mandates on people in violation of the Nuremberg Code.
Oof.
Yeah. And that's what they did.
Wow.
And they don't even deny that functionally.
Yep.
They just claim we can't sue. They claim nobody can sue them.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Now, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.